I'll be telling you more about how my happenings were in there, the businesses I was doing with them, the conversations I was having with them, and also how I managed to get out, and actually who came to get me out.
Arrested for kindness, they thought I was a menace, but all I did was share. They saw it as a grievance, holding that Tusker can.
My name is Don SANTO, the one and only Nisa Central Africa, the whole world, even in Google. I am an artist, a producer. I'm also a consultant on leadership, governance, and business in the digital era. I also work in the ride-hailing industry. I am an enthusiast when it comes to everything that has to do with the people and has to do with making things better. And why am I here today? Today is a very but simple story. This story is a story that, I know many of you can relate, especially if you have ever been to Nairobi or any of the urban centers in Kenya. It's an issue between the people and the police. This story enda kuangori. It happened this Wednesday. Let me check the dates. It happened on Wednesday 8th. I was coming from work. From job, I went to meet my friend, he's also a colleague. We thought we were to have a live band at Gold Creek Bar and Grill, but when we went there, unfortunately, there was no live band on that day. So I had ordered my Tusker malt beer. There were 2 cans, so I took 1 can, and my friend took his Guinness. So the remaining can, I couldn't just leave it there, so I carried it. Now on reaching town, we parted ways, and then I started walking towards CBD because I had some errands to run. So towards Accra Road, commercial, I met a guy who said he was from Kitui, he had a bag, he was from Kitui, he was lost. He wanted to know where OTC was. Mimi ndio huyo, twende OTC. But I was to show him where he could branch and ask people from there where he could get OTC. So on reaching towards Ronald Ngala, towards Afya Center, we met cops, and the cops came, took the beer from the guy, and was like, what is this? When asking the guy said, I'm the one who bought it for him. And mi ndio huyo machingle, nimekewa pingu. So the guy was like, now you're under arrest because it's illegal to drink alcohol on the streets. I asked him, was I drinking the alcohol? Was I even holding the beer? So why are you arresting me and you've left the other guy to go? At this time, as I was talking, one of the cops tried to hit me. So anakuja nataka kunipiga kofi. So I blocked the slap, and unfortunately the cop started bleeding. So the cop was like, unaua askari, meaning are you killing the cop? Are you killing a cop? So they pushed me back to wait for a few moments, and then they came back and asked me, how much are you giving? They wanted me to give a bribe, and I told them, for what? I have not committed any crime. Wacha kupishana na polisi, lipa kitu nalipa. So I told them, for me, I have 50 shillings in my pocket. Are you going to get the 50 shillings? I told wacha ujinga. So they took me down Haile Selassie Road. From there, we went towards Kamukunji, but they were still asking for 5,000 shillings. I said, I can't give you 5,000 shillings for anything. Not even with this economy of Zakayo, I cannot give you 5,000 shillings. So they took me to the station and demanded now, if I don't give 5,000, they'll charge me for more. So they booked me in. Upon getting inside, I asked, what am I being charged for? They said, inciting the public against the cops and drunk and disorderly. Now me, drunk and disorderly, really? Did I really incite the public? Was there evidence? Who's the complainant? Now they said it was a criminal case.
Is it me or you or them or we? Oh, poor world, what about us telling the truth, Lord?
After dilly-dallying me for an entire day until the following day, they told me that case I need to talk to Cheriot. I came to learn later Cheriot is the OCS there. And then you are not allowed to see him, and I'm not allowed to get my phone. Now, that was on Thursday. It was if there was a crime, I was to be taken to court, but I wasn't. I was just left in there. Mimi nikakaa hapo ndani. I saw inside there, it was funny because the guards in are street children and some funny looking characters. So when you get in there, the process is you are indicted in by stealing anything that you have on yourself under the watch of the cops, by the way. Alafu kifika, I saw what was happening, so I decided to step up. I told them, if you get any weed or cigarette, it's mine. So whatever happens with the money and those other things, I don't need them. I just need the cigarette and the weed, so I could resell it back to the folks in there to survive, you know. So on Thursday, things were very normal. You get your githeri at lunchtime, githeri in the evening. I got tea in the morning, a quarter cup, and it had a cockroach inside. I complained. I was given some other tea, but you see, there was no escort. People complained, and then you were given half a slice of bread the following morning, which was on Friday. In there, I met friends. I met people who were good. Kuna mtu alinipatia maziwa yake nikakunywa. Masharia, manze ulifanya kitu mzuri sana. There were guys there. We exchanged ideas. I was a consultant by there on various issues, spiritual, business, I looked like a serious guy because I was arrested in a suit. And imagine sleeping on the floor, kwa simiti, in my suit like this. With one eye open, because in the cell you can wake up diddled. So nilikuwa rada. Usiku ya kwanza nilitamani kukojoa. I wanted to urinate, but now I wasn't given a chance. They didn't want to open the door. I removed my dick and placed it outside the door, and I urinated. Now the following day, on Friday morning, one of the guys was knocking to be opened for. And this guy decided now to urinate inside. He was not even strategic like I was, and he urinated inside. Now, where he was urinating, someone else was sleeping. So he woke up, but I told the guy, come and sleep where this guy was sleeping. When he finished, he wiped the urine with his coat. And he was like, come back and sleep at your place. And I told him, my friend, you will sleep on your urine. And you kept sleeping. The morning came. I was denied my phone for hours, but I had money in my phone. So I was like, enough of sleeping in here. This is a pathetic place for the dawn of downs, Let me leave, I have enough content. But before I finish, there was a story that on Tuesday, waking up Wednesday, Mabusu walikuwa wamekufa huko ndani, had died inside the cells, the jail cells. And then there was a stampede, because what I witnessed was 100 people were being arrested during the day, 100 people during the night. And then they could get money from them and being exchanged by other people, and sometimes it could be full, 60 people in one room, even more. And sometimes on the corridors, but you're still beaten up for standing on the corridors. So it was pathetic. So this guy died, and then they gave civilians, most likely the street kids, to take it on the top of a Ford Travelers bus, which was to throw it somewhere. So if there was an identified dead body around Eastlands, and you don't know where it is from and what they died from, probably something like cardiac or something, or that was most likely from Kamukunji. So it was very sad, because even on the last day that I was leaving, my brothers came, but when they came, we were dealing with a situation. Somebody had decided to strip naked and then removed all the clothes and used it to block all the places in the toilet, block the urinal, block everything. And he was naked in front of men who have been starving sexually for days, weeks, months, in front of them. And people were like, let us touch him. And I was like, no, be human. This person is sick. He needs to be taken to hospital. The police ordered some of the inmates to carry the guy out. He was whipped several times, but the guy was just there. And you see, one bad thing is it was cold. You're just sleeping on the cement. The guy would get pneumonia. and probably even the guy is dead by now.
Pseudonames are used to shield from their hearts, adorning their eyes that are victim of their curse. I'll never break down.
Now, wait for part 2, where I'll be telling you more about how my happenings were in there, the businesses I was doing with them, the conversations I was having with them, and also how I managed to get out, and actually who came to get me out on that day. Subscribe to King Don Santo across all social media platforms. You can even Google, check out my music, check out our content, check out Calpop music, and hashtag Calpop Revolution, hashtag Classic Nation, hashtag Don Santo, hashtag Hail the Dawn, hashtag Team Santo, hashtag The Dawn of Dawns, hashtag
Deep in the ghetto we are coming from. Mama never get $1 from the start.